Sawadee krap. Plato's allegory of the cave serves an example of the difference between knowing something and ignorance. It is one of the most well-known and enduring allegories in Western philosophy. In the allegory, the cave is inhabited by a group of prisoners who have lived in captivity since birth. They can only see shadows that a fire behind them projects onto the wall of the cave. They are bound in place and have to face that wall. The captive's only experience of reality is what happens on that wall, projected as shadow. They are unable to see the objects or the flames that are casting the shadows, the true reality, and can only see the shadows as their reality. One of the prisoners is eventually released and from his chains and makes his way outside the cave. For the first time, he is able to view the fire, the items, and the outside world, and is therefore able to recognize the actual items that were responsible for the cave's shadows. This allegory serves as a metaphor for the separation between the true world and the world of appearances. Those who are entrapped in ignorance and only have a superficial understanding of the world are represented by the prisoners in the cave. The illusions we accept for reality are represented by the shadows on the wall. The released prisoner stands apart from these people as someone who has seen through illusions and found the truth. For anyone who has seen the classic 90s film The Truman Show, you will immediately recognize that it is based on Plato's allegory of the cave, where Truman is, eventually, the released prisoner realizing that Sea Haven, Truman's artificial town and world, is merely an illusion, a film set, and the reality is the real world beyond the door in the sky. Plato's allegory similarly pervades the recent Barbie sensation that has swept across the world's cinema screens over the past 3 months. Stereotypical Barbie, thanks to the advice of Weird Barbie, travels out to Barbie land and becomes Plato's released prisoner. The difference and more subtle and disturbing interpretation of the allegory here is that, unlike Truman, Barbie realizes that neither the false reality of Barbie land nor the reality of the real human world are in any way perfect or desirable, both full of prejudice, injustice, inequality, and bias. The perfect world becomes an idea that doesn't really exist, except as an idea. It's a perfection that, like all other perfections, cannot be found in the real world. We can't really reach it, and perhaps, if we could reach it, we would still find faults within it we must address. A more just society, like all idealistic ends, while it may seem like a lofty, perhaps unreachable goal, requires consistent effort and investment. Even if you can't make it perfect, you can make it better. Ultimately, Barbie, like Pinocchio, chooses to inhabit the real world, not as a doll, but as a self-governing, liberated human being. As she says at the end of the film, "I want to be part of the people that make meaning, not the thing that's made. I want to do the imagining. I don't want to be the idea." I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Kopkun Krap.